Hello, internet friends. It's Andi Gutierrez coming to you from inside Lucasfilm headquarters. This week on Rebels, we got to watch as Sabine trained to master the Darksaber, and now I'm here to show you how that episode was made. So strap on your Mando gauntlets. Rebels Recon starts right now. Fen Rao and Kanan task Sabine to wield the ancient and powerful Mandalorian weapon, the Darksaber, in order to unite her homeworld of Mandalore.
All right, I'll do it. Just give me the saber.
But before she can take hold of the saber, she must train with Kanan and Ezra.
I think you're doing well.
Opinion noted.
After a rocky start, some upgrades to her armor, and a pep talk from Ezra, Sabine confronts her demons, regains her confidence, and embraces her destiny.
Where you go from here is up to you. But no, this family will stand by you no matter what you choose.
Trials of the Darksaber is one of those rare Rebels episodes that doesn't focus on a specific mission or adventure, but rather on the process of training. I sat down with cast and crew to talk about the history of the Darksaber, Sabine's maturity this season, and the importance of training. Check it out. In Trials of the Darksaber, we learn a bit more about the history of the Darksaber. How long has this history been developed?
When the Darksaber was first created on Clone Wars, for a long time, the character Pre Vizsla that first wields the Darksaber in the show, he had what was called in Star Wars a vibroblade, which is not a lightsaber. When George saw that, he kind of said, yeah, I've heard of those things, but there's no way it could stop a lightsaber. And that's where George created the Darksaber.
As we started doing Rebels and we realized that there was this connection that could quite logically fall out of the storytelling, that Maul was the last person to have this thing and he could cross paths with Sabine, the need came to like, okay, let's start defining this thing. Why does this thing exist? Where did it come from?
This was an opportunity for us to kind of widen the mythology of the Darksaber and kind of give an idea of how it was connected to the Jedi. And in this particular case, the ruling parties of the House Vizsla had used this sword for many generations to keep power. So there's a sense that people would follow a sword if they believed in who was wielding it.
In Trials of the Darksaber, we see Sabine really come to terms with her Mandalorian legacy. How big do you think that has helped mature her this season?
It is who she is at her core, and that is where she came from. But I think for the reasons that she left and how painful it was for her to leave, she goes with it and embraces it and fully commits to her Mando-ness, which is awesome.
This is essentially a whole episode about training. What inspirations came into creating it?
I love this episode because it's so different. I think it's such a great change of pace from some of our other episodes that are more plot heavy. This is so much more character driven.
There's a deeper training going on, and that deeper training is Kanan learns basically something that this isn't about him, that he has to actually let go and allow her to grow up. By the same token, she is actually really preparing herself to face her family.
I wanted to impress on everybody the importance of Sabine training with a lightsaber and that was going to be difficult for her. So I wanted to spend the entire episode on that. If we tell the story the right way, we don't need a secondary little plot here. It's not important. Like, the whole thing should be about her training. And it's not about her learning to fight with a sword. It's about her being a character and a person that has feelings and emotion and depth and dimension. And all of those things drive her forward or pull her back and stop her.
This was definitely my favorite episode we've done so far. Dave doesn't like to tell us too much in advance, but he actually told me about this episode quite a bit in advance, sort of mentally prep me for what we were going to be doing.
By the end, I wanted Tiya to be very emotional. I wanted her to be struggling and to see the depth of the hurt that her family caused her, and in some ways the doubt from her friends there like Kanan. And that part of her anger and the explosiveness and art is that she's fighting through so many things.
It was a little bit of a challenge, but man, it was so nice to just have that time with Dave. I'm really grateful that Dave gave me that opportunity, because in voiceover, we don't get that many opportunities to sort of go there.
It's one of the few times that I actually recorded the actors prior to shooting all the scenes. Normally on these, we shoot everything and then we record. But I wanted her emotions to drive everything that we were doing. And I thought, well, I can always re-record it later, but there was no need to re-record it. She was so good.
Give me that, give me it to me. Beautiful, hold that, hold that. That's gorgeous, excellent, excellent.
What button do I put? Yeah, that's good. I guess that's okay. Who are you?
Last week, the Lucasfilm Story Group's Pablo Hidalgo decided to get sneaky with me and answer questions before I could ask him. So let's see what he does this week with another one of your questions.
Great, Pablo, that's brilliant. Now, look, take a drink of the coffee. Take a drink of the coffee. Oh, brilliant, you hate the coffee. Put it down. Oh, who's this girl? Guess we'll still shoot this then.
Andy.
Hi. Do you have a second to talk about Star Destroyers?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So Jake Anderson asks, what was the artwork I spotted under Thrawn's Star Destroyer in Warhead? Does it have any meaning?
Let me think about... Yes, it is the Chimera. That's the name of Thrawn's ship. And so on the belly of a ship, he's got a stylized version of that creature.
Subtle. One more.
Sure.
Marcus Mack asks, considering his rank, why doesn't Thrawn have a super Star Destroyer like Vader?
Well, actually, I don't think anyone has a Super Star Destroyer just yet in this timeline.
Interesting. Thanks, Pablo.
Oh, great, get the girl out of here now, Pablo. Take a big sip of that coffee. Spit out the coffee. You don't like the coffee. It's actually tea.
Gonna miss that guy during our hiatus. But if you have more questions about Trials of the Darksaber, tweet them to @StarWars using the hashtag Rebels Recon, and we'll answer what we can online. And yes, you did hear me correctly, we are going on hiatus for a few weeks. But to pass the time, here's a sneak peek of our next episode, Legacy of Mandalore.
Rockets! Rockets!
I see them!
Didn't you tell them who you were?
That's probably why they're shooting at us.
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back in February with a brand new episode. In the meantime, check out the episode guide for Trials of the Darksaber on StarWars.com this Monday. And if you missed me that much over the break, go ahead and rewatch the rest of Rebels Recon. You should probably do that now.